Chat. Chat a tat tat. Chat a tat tat. So I came across something the other day, and I thought it was worth noting, but there's been an update since, so I don't know. I don't really know what to think of this. But Blake Wesley, his Instagram account, and I checked, it was true. Everything was gone, right? All of his posts were gone. Any description he had was gone. We know that the Spurs are going to get Dylan Harper, right? Like, there's no and ifs or buts about it. The only way they don't get him is if, for some reason, the Mavs grab him, right? Like, that's basically it. There is a 100% chance at this point that they take Dylan Harper, and they're comfortable with that. And it doesn't look like there's any signs, and it's Spurs' nature not to do this, but any signs that they're going to trade away their second-round pick. Nor should they, really, right? So, with that being said, we know that we're about to have 3 guards, and we're not one of those situations where we have a bunch of guards, but we don't know like who can take the reign and be the next point guard or the next whatever. That's not going to be the case, right? We got some very talented guards coming to the Spurs pretty soon, or we already have one, and we're going to talk about Steph Castle later in a different segment. But Steph Castle, we have Fox, and now Dylan Harper. Those are 3 guards in and of itself that are definitely going to get playing time. Like no ifs, ands, buts about that. Now, as far as who's going to be the future point guard, kind of tough to say, but I would bank on Dylan Harper rather than Steph Castle, only because Castle, I don't know if he'll be a full-time point guard. He's going to do fine. He's going to do great, but he's more of a combo guard, and Dylan Harper will be closer to someone who can just take over more of a primary point guard, but he's considered a combo guard as well. But anyways, with that being said, I think this is the most talent we've had at the guard position. So the question has remained, where does Blake Wesley fit into this? I still think that he can have a place with the team, right? I think that he's good enough defensively and just what he brings that he can do it. But also, we have to be honest in saying the Spurs probably more than likely aren't going to extend him or Malachi Branham's contract, right? So I saw this, and the next thing I saw, which take this with a grain of salt, okay? This person right here, I don't even know if that's a real photo, honestly. This person is often right about things, but also he's usually right because it's just so obvious and everyone already knows. So it's kind of, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. But anyways, this post here says the Spurs have done their due diligence regarding Giannis and will not table on offer the Milwaukee, citing the concerns with salary further down the line. Actually, this isn't even the one that I wanted to show you. Yeah, this isn't the one I wanted to show you. It was one regarding Blake. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt, but I think it is true nonetheless. Let's see. All right, here we go. Sources within San Antonio's camp are telling me Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham will not be extended this offseason. More to come. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This person is not very reliable, but a lot of things that he says, it ends up being true, but it's only true because we already knew it. So I don't know. The guy's a troll for real. Yeah, it's hit or miss. I'm just gonna say it's very hit or miss. Okay, this is not somebody that you need to like bank all your hopes on. But I will say that this statement in and of itself is probably more than likely true. I think most people probably agree with that anyway. He's been wrong thousands of times. Yeah. It's. I just wanted to show you that this is what I saw. So I'm taking you down my rabbit hole. Okay. So I initially saw this, and then someone tagged me in this, or actually sent this to me, and I was like, okay. I mean, I guess, but I'm sure that this person is only banking off on the fact that this happened, right? But most recently, the update is it's all restored. So I'm quite confused. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't know if it was just some issues with his Instagram account. I mean, a lot of times when players take all of their photos off, that means something's about to happen. Just being transparent with you guys, just being completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised. if we don't see a lot of Blake Wesley, or if the Spurs make a move and just not have Blake Wesley come back. I wouldn't be surprised by it. Do I want him? Of course I do. Do I think that Spurs have too many guards? No, I don't. I don't necessarily think that's the case whatsoever. I think in today's NBA, you can afford to have quite a few guards. And let's not act like we got a bunch of 6-footers walking around, right? Dylan Harper, he has some strength on him. The whole point of the Spurs getting Steph Castle was because he was strong and he can guard multiple positions, 1 through 3, essentially. He can fit in 1 through 3 at times, 3 at times, 1 and 2 more than likely. But he's a flex player. Like, that's what he was with UConn. He wasn't just the primary point guard the entire time. He did lots of different things that they needed him to do. So I'm not bought into you can only have this amount of guards or else your team is ruined. I don't think that that's true. Okay. Is it true that we need a small forward? Yes. Is it true that we need a backup center? Yes. Is it true that we need a secondary scorer for the future next to Wemby? Definitely yes, right? Probably the most important thing that we need, and I think Dylan Harper can be that. And as far as Blake Wesley, I think that he can get minutes. But yeah, so the one player, though, out of all of this that I think is more than likely, Blake Wesley, I think he has a fit with the team. But Malachi, I don't know, guys. I don't know. And a couple of reasons why I don't know what's going to happen with Malachi is, number one, it didn't really look like, at least throughout this season, that Mitch Johnson was sold on giving him a substantial amount of minutes. He didn't play at all. While Blake Wesley eventually got to see some of those minutes, it never happened for Malachi. I think they even put him in the G League at one point. Like, we were not seeing any Malachi Brandom whatsoever. I didn't agree with that, because a lot of times when the Spurs are going to games, their mindset was, we're going to try to shoot the lights out. And I'm like, okay, if we're just going to continuously throw up threes, why not we just put Malachi Brandom in there? He's one of the best three-point shooters we got on the team. But, hey, they didn't really do that. And the other reason, though, I don't know how he fits is Malachi Brandom has basically been relegated to a catch-and-shooter role. And while he's good at it, I don't think that that's the best thing that he brings to the table, right? I think that he's actually much better with the ball in his hands, where he can run the pick and roll, take advantage of those mid-range shots, take advantage of his 3-level scoring threat that he definitely has. But the Spurs don't really need him for that. Now that we have Fox, right? Now that we have Dylan Harper, now that we have Steph Castle doing quite a bit, I just don't think that I don't know how you fit Malachi Brandom into this unless you relegate him to a catch and shoot role, essentially. And I don't know. It seems like you're really tailoring a lot just to Malachi when we're probably not going to be ran the most efficiently just doing that. So I do think that he has a great future, or I won't say great. I would say he has a very good future in the NBA. And, maybe another team cannot use that, or they need a player that can run the offense a little bit off the bench. But us, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. So me personally, I don't think Malachi really has much of a future with this for those two reasons. Coach doesn't seem to think so, unless that changes next season. And his play style, I don't know how it fits. It seems like we would really have to force it. He's a good player. He's a fine player, but I just don't know. And then as far as Blake Wesley is concerned, you can just kind of bring him in when guys need rest, and he brings that defensive intensity no matter what. We know that De'Aaron Fox really likes him. We know that he's a really great locker room guy. But based on what people have told us, we can see how he's just excited every single game. He has the same amount of energy on the bench regardless. So he's a really great bench guy. And I think that the Spurs can build him up and really utilize Blake. And with his immense athleticism, with having De'Aaron Fox, who can run down the court at sonic speed, Blake Wesley fits that as well, right? So if you have to sit Fox, you have to sit a couple of your players and throw him in there, you're not going to be losing too much of a beat. He's not as good as the other guys, but he'll do just fine. So I do believe in Blake. This might be a cause of concern. Just wanted to bring it to your attention, but it could also just been something weird going on with his account. I don't know. But like I said, it went blank. It went ghost. There were plenty of rumors about the San Antonio Spurs getting another. Well, it's not a rumor. It's definitely going to happen. Us getting another guard. And he doesn't seem like the type. I need to say this too. He doesn't seem like the DeJounte Murray type that's going to like just go against every. Like go on social media and just like talk trash about the team, or go on social media and like just wipe everything as a sign of protest. A lot of times players will just do this because they're preparing for another team. Whereas DeJounte, when he did it, it was literally because he got benched. There was no, I don't know if you guys remember this. I remember going off about this and people did not like that I had an issue with it. I actually went on Instagram live after it happened, but the Spurs a few years back, they ended up sitting DeJounte after he was injured and he came back. They started him. The team didn't look that great, right? They looked better with Derek White. Obviously, they played a whole season with them. They went to the playoffs with them. So Popovich ended up sitting DeJounte, started Derek, and then DeJounte went to his Instagram account, wiped out Spurs point guard, and then unfollowed all of his teammates. It was kind of ridiculous, and it's like it felt like only me and a few other people noticed it, which bothered me. But then not too long after that, he ended up getting the starting position again, and then miraculously, Spurs point guard was back in his bio. So, but I don't think that's one of these situations. It might have literally been, hey, he got some news, and maybe he wanted to, get cleared out for another team, or it could have been, hey, literally just an issue with his account. So, but thought I'd just bring it to your attention. It was running around Spurs Twitter a little bit, so just thought you should know about it. But yeah.